Hello and welcome guys to another episode of First Thoughts. Today we are covering Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, the long-awaited reboot leader from the original BT27 deck. And I'm not alone today, I'm here with Darian, who plays the deck. Hello Darian.
Hello guys.
So, quick thing, different as Meki, different as Vegeta, we are always like trying different things. This time, we will just present you a deck list, go over the new cards, explain them a little bit, and Darian will tell from his experience he had so far with the deck. So other than me and Mirko, who just built the deck but never played it, we now have an kinda experienced player with the deck who will talk about the choices. So quick rundown about the leader. On the front side, you have Energy Exhaust negated, simple draw 1 on swing, and you awaken when you have 4 less life or the blue-green multicolor the extra for the deck. Then you draw 2. On the back side, you draw 1. Then at the end of the turn, you go up or down to 3 energy in rest mode, meaning if you have less or more than 3 energy, you need to warp the energy until you have 3 left, or put cards from your hand into your energy in rest mode until you have 3 energy. And it has an activate main, which I think might be a little bit too much, which is add up to 2 red ribbon army cards from your hand to your energy, in active most likely, and you can play non-red ribbon army battle cards for the turn. So this is the leader. It's a little bit different compared to the original Gamma, who just re-stands 3 energy at the end of the turn by picking up 3 androids or red ribbon cards from your energy and then placing 3 other cards down there in active mode. So this is a little bit different. This feels more like you have offensively like 4 to 6 energy, and then you basically at the end of the turn go down and you yourself can decide if you want to leave energy up or not. Going over 1-drops, going over the deck in total, sadly it resets my structuring. So we need to go a little bit different route here. So Darian, I will ask you about every card now, starting with your secret rare choice. Why this secret?
I think it's one of the best secrets to have both ways from our best secrets in the past. You have a secret rare which gives you the option to clear the complete board, like Beast Gohan, and you have the chance to have more turns because normally you get 2 lives back, and then you have save. Or you have normally another turn with 2 more lives.
Yeah, so just the ability to ramp lives, especially in a 35 minutes format.
Yeah.
Clearing unison, clearing battle cards seems pretty huge. How does it feel to pay 4 energy for that?
I think this is the only thing where you need to be a little bit beware, because you have some cards that have activate battle effects, which can shoot your energy in your opponent's turns. And after that, you only go with 3 energy in the next turn, and you can't play this card because after you ramp 2 energy with your leader, you can only play red ribbon cards.
And
so, you must be a little bit, you must see how it,
All right. Going over the next card, this seems to be your 1-drop of choice. I think we don't need to talk about Pilaf Shun Mai. Everybody's annoyed by that card. Every blue player knows it. Every blue player loves it. And then we have Speedy, which is, I think, the best choice for the deck if you don't want to shoot your 1-drops that came out with the deck, right? Because they like reset themselves, so you ramp another one if you shoot them from your energy. I think this one is way better because you can just pick any blue or green android card.
Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is the second auto. If you start your game with no blue-green cards in your hand, you have the chance to have the top 5 search for a blue-green card, and after the turn you can take 1 energy out and put another in your energy and reset your energy with the blue-green multicolor card that you need for the Awaken and for the Z Extra.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Then we have some new cards, this 17.
Yeah, the most broken cards.
I agree. I played against this deck, and usually what you do, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have the time and space for it, you awaken turn 2, therefore you get 2 new energies, you place 1 other card in your energy, which we come shortly to, and then you play just this guy, put 1 card from your energy to your hand, and then shoot something to draw 2. So he resets himself basically, and then he +2 basically.
Correct.
This is
Yes.
crazy.
And that's only for 1 energy, and you have a 15k beat stick to swing into your opponent leader or unit or something.
Especially if you go first, this feels unfair because not every opponent has a way to clear stuff laying there in active mode in their turn too.
Yeah.
So this is a guaranteed +2 maybe again, or at least the opponent needs to play around that card, which feels very annoying.
Yeah, and you need that card. He have a perfect synergy with your leader effect that you have to put 3, that you have to have at the end of the turn 3 energy, because you can take out 1 energy and kill 1 energy, and then after you put 2 in, you take 2 out and draw 3 cards for that, or make a +1 effect only by that card.
This is crazy. You often combine it with another card we might call
it's the
later.
second last, I think.
The second last. This one. Yeah, let's talk about this one. This fucker.
Yeah, he's the best synergy with the Android 17. Normally you have 6 energy in your turn, and after you play 1 boss monster for 4 energy, you have 2 energy left, and I use it for the Android 13 and the Android 17. First I play Android 17. With the activate main, I can kill this Android 13 from my energy, and he says when my leader is a Gamma when I'm awakened, and this card is placed in my drop area by the skill of the Android 17. As an example, you can draw 1 card and play this card from your drop, and you ramp another card back to your energy. And that's only for 1 energy. So he comes from your energy, you draw another card, so you make another +1 in your hand, and you get the energy back for like other effects, or to have the 3 energy at the end of the turn.
This sounds pretty good.
At least he has the activate battle effect, and there was a funny game where I had 3 of them on board because my opponent can't kill them that easily. He's at 20k, and he has the activate battle effect to give plus 10k once per turn. So I could swing with all of my energies and kill all of my energies. So I had 0 at the end of the turn, but it was perfect to finish the game. I swing 30k, 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 and my opponent lost that way. So you have a chance to use all of your energy aggressively and win the game. If you don't win it, yes, you need to put 3 cards from your hand back to your energy. But yeah, I think it's great.
It's not like the energy is lost, which is crazy. It just comes back from your hand.
Right.
Yeah, this feels pretty good. Then we have Android 18. I rarely see you play her.
Yeah, she's a little bit better than the Android 17. You pay 1 energy, you get a draw in the activate main, and when she's played, you can take 1 card from your energy back to your hand. So you have also the plus effect, but not +2, only +1 or +0, because you need to put first the cards in your energy, and then you can play here and get 1 energy back and draw 1 card. But she has the effect for 1 energy. You can place 1 energy in its owner's drop, and then I can choose one of my Red Ribbon Army cards and switch to active mode. That gives me the chance to use my boss monsters, the cell from the old Gamma and the cell from the new set, to make them triple attackers. Which is in the actual meta not that great, because normally you only swing 2 times in a turn or 3 times, but not with that big boss monsters.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we're in a current meta where you can only swing once or twice, and then you basically pass and try to gain value somewhere else. So it's a weird meta.
Correct.
Then going over boss monsters, I mean, I hated this card so much when it came out, because talking about me, I'm an aggro player. I love to play aggro. I love to play my 3-hand, my Xenogoku, my whatever. And in the old Gamma deck, it always felt very unfair to me that I built a huge board, and then starting turn 4, my whole board was gone. I was punished for countering, and if I tried to rebuild my board, my opponent still had like 3 energy active. In this deck, this fucker comes down turn 3, so even faster. He still punishes you, he still takes your whole board, and you know what? It doesn't even hurt you, because you most likely have 2 more energy you can use.
Yeah, that's the big difference to the old deck. You have now access to play more aggressive in the early game. You are not that defensive as the way before, because you always had 3 energy open for your counterattacks, counterplays, and so on and so on. But now you have the chance to drop that monster in turn 3 and have 2 energies left open. So when your opponent decides to use Dormant, he needs to bottom deck 1 more card from hand. So he loses 3 cards in hand, and after that you can use your combo from Android 17 and Android 13 to get another 3 draws. And he comes by himself from energy. So you have 3 energy at the end of the turn. You make +2 on hand and have 3 beat sticks on board, which is one of them a big boss monster, which great effects.
Exactly. I think even if you get Dormant in the way, you portraited it, you swing twice with this one. Maybe you swing once with your leader to draw, could also be the case if you're not going for game anyway, especially if you're expecting like a homicidal or something, or a negate. But then afterwards you can just draw 3 more cards, use your energy, regain your energy you just put into, and then you might be out tapped, but let's be honest, with a hand of like 13 to 15 cards with sparking negates, with everything you have, and with an empty board at your opponents, I mean, what should he do? It's
the sparking negate is one of the biggest things in the deck, but there is also a thing, if you play the other 8-drop cell, you have the chance to untap at the end of the turn 1 blue energy, and he's a barrier double strike blocker. So like you said, when you play against the green deck, you drop him for 4 energy, then you swing 1 time, you have a barrier blocker, and swing after that with your leader, and regain, or you get 1 energy at the end of the turn for your negates or something else. I think this one, in combination with the Unison, which we see a little bit later, is very, very strong, because she can also untap an energy.
Yeah. Okay, going over some defensive choices, more defensive choices. I don't think we need to talk much about them. Heroic Prospect is just basically the same as Android 14, but cheaper, and you need a Unison in game. This one never saw play since Gamma got banned, since they're also leader locked. Luckily, this deck allows to play it again, which is cool in a blue deck which can untap energy easily. Still feels as unfair as before, basically. I mean, you see a pattern here. These are all battle cards. You can Koitsukai the opponent.
But my opinion is, when this card gets counterplayed, like yesterday we had a game where you use Bujin or something else, your opponent uses energy which is more valuable for him than for me, because I have tools like D-Magic or untap so much at the end of the turn and have blocker on my field or something else, and he uses his important energy to be aggressive and kill me. So like in a green deck, you play Solidarity for 2 energies, and if you only have like 3 or 4 energy and you use one of them for a Bujin counterplay, you lose much value to kill me or go for game.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't feel good to counterplay this if you're not able to finish this turn either way. Then we have the new Gammas. I think this is also a highly underrated card because it just does so much for so little.
Yes. I think this is the most important card in the deck. You can't play without this card because you need a blue-green card. There is only another blue-green card in the set, which is the Cell. If you open the next 3 cards, we can see them. There are the multicolor choices that I had. This all the multicolors, but you only can charge the Gammas and the Android 17, 18 because they are red ribbon cards, and you can charge the Cell. He's
also red ribbon, right? Yeah.
All of them are red ribbon, so you have 8 targets which you need to find in your first or lately in your second turn, but normally you need to have it before the turn starts. And then you can play your normal play line. And I think the Gammas are also that great because you have so much effects. First, you play him for 1 energy to take 1 card from your opponent's hand, so he needs to discard. And after that, you have the chance for free to give one of your cards a Senzu Bean.
At least if you place an energy in its owner's drop, which you usually
yeah,
doesn't hurt
but
anyway.
you can do it for him to have a 20k dual attack, aggressive in your turn. You can do it for your boss monsters, which are then 35k double strike dual attacks.
Sure.
Or you can do it for your leader in your opponent's turn. But there is the problem, which I talked before, when you kill your energy in your turn, you don't come back to your 4 energy to play your secret rare.
Yes,
Everything else you can normally play easily because you don't need all of your cards are Red Ribbon Army, but your secret rare is the only thing where you need to be safe.
Yeah. Super combo of choice is the bottom deck one. I mean,
Yes.
you can play around with that. It's searchable in this deck, right? Because it's an Android card. Do you
Correct.
look for Android cards? Yeah, you look for Android cards with that one.
Yeah, I tried to play the Android 8, I think it is, the super combo which comes with the first Gamma deck. But the problem is, most of the time you have more than 4 lives, and you want to be more aggressive with those super combos and take cards from your opponent's hand. You have so much cards which takes the hand from your opponent, without you doing something special. It's like the Cell, which takes 1 card from your opponent. You have all time the Flood Negates, which take cards from your opponent. You have the Gammas, you have your Unison, you have your super combo, and all of them say you lose 1 card, lose 1 card, lose 1 card. Yeah. And that makes this deck so perfect. I love this playstyle.
It's very annoying. Then we also have this one. I mean, you can you can never go down to 1 life as an opponent, because then she comes into play and fucks you. Also, she has a nice synergy with the deck, because like choosing 1 energy and placing it in your drop area is not something bad for this deck. You don't really care. Could also be good if your opponent is on 2 life and tapped out to negate sparking negates or life negates, right? To play her first and then swing into your opponent. Could also be a way.
That's correct, but I see a problem with this card. You need to charge her in the game, like turn 1 or 2 with with Speedy Sub, because you can't put her in your energy without energy exhaust. And you can't play her with the effect from your Gamma leader. After you activate main your leader and get 2 more energies, you can't play her anymore because he has no red ribbon.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't thought about that.
Yeah, you need that card in your early turns, or place it there. Luckily with some effects, but you can't use her when you really need her. If you have her on your hand and you have your 3 energy, you can't charge her and play her in this turn.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's annoying. You're right. You're right. Then you have this one. Is it just for charging reasons, or?
Yeah, it's just for charging reasons. You can play like 4 cells, you can play like 4 Android 17, 18s. I see the big thing is for 2 energy, you can bottom deck any card from your opponent, 1 card. It's not ignoring barrier, but you can choose any card from your opponent and bottom deck it.
Greater than their current energy.
Yeah, but it needs to be greater or equal to the current energy. So it could be a good removal, and you can play this card from your energy directly, so you have the chance to kill your own energies with this card. But I think it's not that great, and you don't need to pay 2 energy in this deck to remove something. There are better options to play.
Yeah, and the last card, I mean, we're playing blue, we're playing the Magics, no way around it. Of course. Going to the Z deck, I think we can skip most of them, but the new Z cards. So this is basically your Z Extra. This is a way to negate energy exhaust also on the backside or on your leader, but as you told, only red ribbon. And for example, Bad Omen is not red ribbon, so this might be a problem for you. Most funny thing is, even though you tap out basically on your turn 2 to awaken, it switches your leader back to active mode, so you get an additional draw. And like we told before, you can then afterwards charge 2 new cards, so you have a double leader swing in turn 2, and then you can still play 2 other things in turn 2, which is quite huge. It has also a nice ability. You place 2 energy in your drop, and then you KO everything. I think this one is not that crucial, because you have your Cell boss monster anyway, but it might be a cool thing to do if your opponent's token negates, just has 1 life, and then you use this effect and then go in with a final swing or something, just as a tool to have.
Yeah, I think they did a mistake by making your leader give the chance to awaken by 4 lives. I had a game yesterday against a friend where I play Gamma, and he had a very aggressive deck and get me down to 4 lives in turn 2. With Gamma, this is one of the greatest spots I ever seen. You have the chance to go in your turn 2 to 2 energy. Don't play this card because it only gives you another leader swing. Directly awaken with your leader, so you have a draw 2 and can go for 4 energy in your turn 2.
Oh yeah.
And then play the Cell Boss Monster to clear the aggressive deck line. And you don't need that card, it's not important for you. In the matchup, I go for 3 energy into my Unison directly, have turn 2 my 3-cost Unison, which come after that card, and have the chance to take so many cards from him, to have untap at the end of the turn, and so on and so on.
Yeah, this one might be one of the best cards in whole BT27 for any blue deck, but for this deck in particular, because it's like, it does so much. You basically have a generic 3-cost 2 Z energy cost Unison, 20k double strike blocker, so you can use it aggressively, you can use it defensively. And then you have 2 activate mains, which are both very good. Either you bottom deck something of your opponent and switch this card to active mode with a +1, or, like you told before, this Unison lets the opponent bottom deck 1 card from their hand, and then at the end of the turn you get 1 energy back. So this is basically Goku Frieza, but on crack.
Yes, of course. By the +1 effect, your Unison untaps at the end of the turn only. So it's then a defensively tool. But I think the +0 effect is the only one you normally use.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes.
Like, take something from your opponent, then you swing with it, maybe not, because you got floodgated anyway, and then you get an energy back. So this is really just a 2 energy play if you use the +-0 effect, which is so huge.
Yeah.
And then the standard package of Dabura and Black Kamehameha. How often do you play that card?
0 times. It's just a filler. I think the only card that you are playing is your Z extra and the Unison and another Black Kamehameha. So these are normally the cards you need. You have in your deck every tool you need to kill your opponent cards. Beerus could be there a play line because you need to have barrier removal sometimes, but you need to play him at first at the start of the turn because he is a god card and you need to have 4 energy for all of his effects.
He's also counterplayable.
Yeah, he's counterplayable. And you have your secret rare. If you don't see your secret rare and your opponent has a good barrier card, yes, you could use him, but everything else you don't need. Cell is not that important for 3 energy. You have your Cell Boss Monster for 4 energy, which is much better. And do basically the same or more because you take all cards and
you can't even play this, right?
No. Yeah, it's my side deck from my old Gamma deck. I rebuilt my old Gamma deck, and that's a mistake. I can't play Vegito.
Yeah, forget about this card. You're only at 4 energy at the beginning of your turn. You never get to 5 energies without ramping, and then you're not allowed to play this card anymore.
Take a second Z extra, it's fine, I think.
Yeah, this is the deck. Before we close the video, I want to ask you one final question. Which are your hard matchups?
I think black. Black is the color which makes your deck very difficult to play. Because black has a counterplay, which makes your draw engine instant. It destroys your draw engine instantly. If you play your Android 17 or you try to play it, you get your energy back to hand, yes, but you can't kill the next energy because it's activate main effect. And you can't kill Android 13 by that and draw another card. Otherwise, you have the Petrification, which is great against your boss monsters. So I think the black matchup he can do with 1 energy and a Unison on board can stop your complete turn. By doing everything you normally do, yes. You pay 4 for your boss monster, he uses Petrification on that. You try to play Android 17, he uses the counterplay, and after that you paid 5 energy and you need to stop because you have your own defense. Yeah, you can play Heroic Prospect against black, that's fine, but it would be always a really hard thing to play against black.
And could also be counterplayed due to Super Kamehameha being live, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's
at least if
thing.
you're 4 less live. All right,
Yes,
thank you very much for your first view on the deck after testing so much. I think we will definitely see this leader. I think people are excited to play Gamma again. So this is the reason why we will see it. And then, to be honest, whenever I play against it, it feels really, really strong. The deck has everything you need. Multiple boss monsters depending on your choice, multiple energy uses with draw engines or with discarding engines, 2 really nice floodgates, a really broken counterplay, a really good Z Unison, a broken secret. So I think this deck definitely can go places.
Yes.
Alright, then thank you very much for being with me today. And guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment in the comment section down below. If you like the video, share, subscribe, and like the video. It also helps us to grow a little bit more and to reach more people. And then I wish you all a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye.
Bye.